Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of IE News. I'm Clinton Conkle.
And I'm Ana Maria Ramirez.
We have all of your latest information and entertainment on this week's edition of IE News.
That's right, Clinton. We have a movie review, an album review, and a top 10 you won't want to miss.
And don't forget our exclusive interview with a key member of the club here on campus and one of the men behind the Performing Arts program.
All of that and more coming up right after this. On November 2nd through the 12th, join us in the Studio Theater for Almost Maine, directed by Gregory Mortensen. General admission is $15. Students, seniors, and staff are $10. For more information, please call 562-938-4659.
Online priority registration will take place for spring 2012 semester between November 7th and December 19th. For more information, call 562-938-4353.
Don't go anywhere. There is more IE News right after this.
Hi, I'm Dewan. I'm operating the camera.
Hi, my name is Khalid. I am editing the video.
My name's Roman, and I've just assembled the headset.
I'm Greg, and I'm the technical director for this video.
Hello, I'm Mystery Kitchen, and I'm doing the lighting for the show.
Hi, I'm Jerry, and I'm setting up the stage.
3, 2, 1. Hi, my name's Sam, and I'm the stage manager.
My name is Ping Chan Van, and welcome.
Welcome to the television department.
Welcome back. Kenny Jones has our entertainment report.
Welcome to this week's entertainment report. Rumors have been running rampant that Kim Kardashian's new husband, Kris Humphries, were headed for divorce. The rumors have been confirmed. TMZ is reporting that Kardashian is filing for divorce 72 days after the lavish $10 million wedding. Following the trend of not being able to get along, the latest gang violence isn't happening on the streets of Watts, Long Beach, or Compton, but on Twitter. Local Blood affiliate Rose Mo has been caught on camera assaulting another South Central rapper over beef that started on Twitter. Rose Mo is rumored to have been knocked out the rapper The Game in the Fox Hill Mall over another beef that started on Twitter. After the assault, Rose Mo tweeted The Game's label mate, Compton Menace, should watch his back because he's next. Tweeters, beware. On a more positive note, make-believe gangsters are shooting a movie on the mean streets of Bellflower at the corner of Artesian and Bellflower Boulevard. The movie is called Gangster Squad. Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone, and Sean Penn are in the movie. The movie chronicles the mafia types of Los Angeles in the 1940s and 50s. No release date has been set as of yet, but with an all-star cast, you can be sure that this will be a blockbuster hit. That is it for this week's entertainment report. I'm Kenny Jones reporting for the IE News.
Thanks so much, Kenny. Our very own reporter, Chris Johnson, had a chance to sit down with the Performing Arts Administrative Assistant, Esteban Moreno, to talk about some upcoming theater performances.
Hello and welcome. Today we're joined by Esteban Moreno, a man of many titles, but more importantly, the Performing Arts Administrative Assistant. Now, Esteban, being a man of many trades, can you tell us what exactly it is you do here at Long Beach City College?
Well, it depends on what day it is and what we're doing. Right now, I'm in the middle of getting some production materials together for our next upcoming production, which is Almost Maine, which is going to open up tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the Studio Theater. It's going to run for 2 weeks, and we're going to have a special treat this time because this year we have John Cariani, the play's author and playwright, is going to be joining us for a seminar on Sunday. So, on Saturday, November 12th at 3 o'clock, and we're going to have him come out, talk about the show. He's going to talk about his experiences in TV. The man was up for a Tony Award, almost won that for Fiddler on the Roof. And the show's great. It's a quick hour and a half. It's a nice little romp. It's just a bunch of little scenes that are together that you don't think much of, but next thing you know, you're emotionally invested, you're there, you're inside, and all of a sudden you're with these people in this little town called Almost Maine.
All right.
Okay.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about what you do with the dance program? I know there is a performance coming up in November.
Yes.
How do you prepare for something like that?
Dance is a different animal. We have I work with 3 different programs. I work with theater, dance, and film.
Okay.
Currently, right now, we have the set being constructed and painted in the auditorium and the studio theater. We've got a film being shot in the the lobby of the auditorium.
Okay.
And across the street, we have dancers rehearsing in many different rooms, getting prepared for the actual concert, which is going to be on November 18th, 19th, and 20th.
Okay.
So dance is a little bit different in the sense that we just finished doing our showcase, which was great because you guys came out, you filmed it. We had about 750 people show up that night.
Yeah, it was a lot of people.
It was $2. People got to come out, see their kids, go up there and dance. They got to see some tap dance, some belly dancing, a little ballet, a little bit of modern.
Yeah.
They got to see some independent student choreography. So that's great. So we're constantly changing it up by, having things like that so that the entire college can think of us as we're not just a place to go fulfill a humanities course. You can come out here, take a dance class. Maybe you want to do a little belly dancing, you want to learn how to tap dance.
Yeah.
Maybe you're getting married, you want to learn how to do a little salsa.
Okay.
For whatever reason, you've always wanted to take a ballet class, or you want to be a better speaker. You can take a beginning acting class, you can take a speech class. We'll learn how to shoot. You want to learn how to use a sword, you could take a movement class. We have Anthony Carrero, who teaches our combat training course.
You could actually learn how to use a sword?
Actually, yes, we have about 55, 60 swords in our arsenal, and every
Really?
spring, if you come out in front of the auditorium, you'll see a bunch of actors out there with swords. It's not just them going crazy or being upset.
Okay.
They are being taught how to use a sword, and they culminate that by the end of the year, putting a show together. It's a combat show that's directed, produced, and put on by students for the students.
That's really cool. Something that's always interested me is kendo.
Yeah.
And I've been wanting to take kendo classes.
Okay.
Maybe I could do something like that here. Take sword.
Take a movement class,
Take
and
a
again,
movement class
we have
and learn how to do it, right?
broadswords, we have rapier, so we'll teach you how to use like a nice broadsword, which is very similar to a Kempo sword.
Okay.
They're all aluminum. They make a nice clang when you hit somebody with them.
Okay.
But they won't hurt. They're nice and
Good.
dull.
Good.
We actually did have a bit of an incident with a young man, accidentally cut his hand, and it's a nice stitch, about maybe 14, 22 stitches, but it
Okay.
was because slightly sharpened going down a slide. But again, we try to prevent little things like that. So that's also part of my job, first aid technician at intermission,
Okay.
and seeing if I can find a robe to take this guy's place in the middle of the show. So, little things like that happen. So the department is ever changing, constantly moving. We're always doing something not only for the students at the campus, but for the community. We have a tremendous amount of patronage from some of our older senior citizens.
Okay.
They come, they see the shows. They come every Sunday. We have the students come out, the seniors come out, they come see shows. It's a good way for them to have entertainment brought to them. Instead of having traveled to Los Angeles, having traveled to Orange County, it's all here. We've actually worked out deals with Leisure World when we do plays that are adult themed, like when we did the Philadelphia Story. We actually arranged and we had seniors bust in to come see the Philadelphia Story, and they had a
Okay.
blast. They had a really good time because they got to see a show that they grew up watching as a movie, and they
Yeah.
got to see it live and on stage. Did a meet and greet with them. They got a chance to talk to the actor, the director, and it was great. So it's just a lot of fun. So there's always something cooking. My day
Yeah.
starts at 7, ends somewhere between 6 and 7, and honestly, it just depends on what's happening that day. Like I said, tomorrow I'll be here till 10 because I'm house managing the show. Because our regular house manager, who is a former film student, can't be here. But all our people that work with us are our former students. One of the guys who does our box office, former UCR guy, is now working with the Groundlings. He's out doing improv work. Our other
Really?
student, who's our house manager, she is about to get her BA in film from SC. So that's great.
That's fantastic.
And our dancers, this year we have a returning alumni group of 4 that have their own dance company. They're coming back. They're our guest artists. So we're constantly bringing people back in. In fact, this semester, for one of our day and rehearsal performance courses, we actually brought back one of our former students who was a former actor, and he directed his very first show here at the college. So it was great. So students got to work with an alumni who is a professional, who was gone through the program, came back and did a show for the students. So we try to get everybody to come back and keep working and keep going. And pretty soon, like I said, we'll be working with you guys at Radio TV since we're pretty much the same medium.
Yeah.
So there you go. Except while we're doing this with many takes as we want to, so I can just keep bouncing around and we'll just keep reshooting. On stage, you get one chance and one chance only. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like an extremely fantastic and like hands-on program, and it really seems like you care a lot for the students and for people's education, and I think that's one of the most fantastic things about the programs here, especially for performance arts, performance art, and it just seems like you guys genuinely care, and it seems like that's what everybody's been saying, is that this program is fantastic because, you know, you actually learn something, and it seems like they want you to learn.
Yes, and I also have to thank my colleagues because one, the department chair that I work with, Cherie King, she's great.
Yeah.
She's in the dance program. Her and Stephanie Powell, those two ladies, keep that program afloat. Gregory Mortensen and Anthony Carrero keep our theater department afloat. We have a brand new gentleman joining us, Elias Dodrill, who just came aboard to do film. I mean, and these guys, all of them work as hard as they can to take care of the students, because think about it this way, without students, we have no college. Without college, no future. So
exactly.
There you have it.
Well, let's play off that a little bit. I mean, what's it like to work with all these great teachers? I mean, here in the performing arts program. I mean, what's that like?
It's a lot of fun. One, if you watch TV, you've probably seen at least one of our instructors do a commercial, do a film, do a movie. If you've watched any kind of dance video, you've probably seen one of our dancers. It's really, really nice coming to work where, one, I get to work with a lot of students. Two, I don't know what my day is going to be involved in. It's going to start off normal. It could be a fire to put out. It could be a couple of different things. Like right now, I've got to get a couple people registered to get them in the next play. Just little small fires to, we got to get the rights to a production. We have production meetings. We have to figure out what we're doing for next season. And again, Tony's great. We're always working together with the combat. Greg is great because he's always working with the students on how to get them to use their voice, how to do characterization with their acting. He's the director for the next show. So working with Greg has its pluses. Working with Tony has its pluses. Working with Stephanie, with Cherie, and with Eli, every one of them is different, and every one of them is great because, again, a lot of people go to their job. They know that from 8 to 5, they're going to sit behind a desk. They're going to look at a spreadsheet. Well, I get to do that too, but I get to work with a lot of students that want to be here, a lot of instructors that want to be here as well, and we get to put on finished product. So I get to see something go from beginning, middle to end, and that makes it extremely satisfying.
Well, it sounds awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Just one more time, you know, you want to plug the November show? When is that's coming up, the dates for the November performance show?
I'd like to plug 2 shows, please.
Absolutely.
May I please plug Almost Maine, which opens up Wednesday from November 2nd to November 12th. On Saturday, November 12th, it's Veterans Day. So we do have a special. If you show up and you let us know you're a veteran, you're going to get in for half off. If you would also like to meet the author and have a bit of a seminar with them, we have special ticket pricing for him, and it's going to be at 3 o'clock. You meet with the director, we meet with the author, get to talk about the play, then watch the play. And then shortly thereafter, on the 18th, 19th, and 20th, we're going to have the dance department's dance ensemble, and we have about 9 different dances this year. Student choreographers, guest choreographers. We have everything from Lindy Hop, a Vegas-style salsa review, and some sort of vampire gothic Lady Gaga tribute. So
all right,
come on out and be as surprised as I am.
Sounds very entertaining. All right, well, thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
For IU News, I'm Chris Johnson.
Thanks, Chris. Now let's head over to our radio studio where Colin Schultz will give us this week's Top 10 Music Countdown.
Howdy, how y'all doing today? This is Colin Schultz broadcasting live from the campus of Long Beach City College, and this is KLBC.org. We got in studio with us today 3 of the greatest guests that we've ever had. Down from the Lone Star State, the home of the giant belt buckles, from Dallas, Texas, Mr. Dusty Stiggers. Dusty, how are you feeling today?
I'm doing fine. What about you?
I'm doing just dandy, I tell you what. Now, Miss Fariel Khan, the Pakistani princess, Assalamu alaikum, how do you do?
I'm great, thank you.
All right. And we got over there from Arizona, representing his home state, Mr. Jeremiah Rossborough. Welcome, sir.
Sun Devils, you know what it is, holla.
I know what it is. That's for damn sure, I do. Now, right here at KLBC, we like to keep things diverse and classic, and we like to mix it up a little bit. So right now, we're going to hit you with the top 10 country songs of all time. And may I say, it's a great list. Here we go. Number 10, Folsom Prison Blues by Mr. Johnny Cash. Number 9, He Stopped Loving Her Today, George Jones. Number 8, Ring of Fire by Mr. Johnny Cash again. Number 7, It's Crazy by Patsy Cline. Number 6, Rodeo by dang old Garth Brooks. Number 5, I Just Want to Dance With You by George Strait. Number 4, This Cowboy's Hat by Chris Ledoux, may he rest in peace. Number 3, Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn. Number 2, My Front Porch Looking In by Lone Star. And topping off at number 1, it's the Man in Black himself for the third time, Johnny Cash. All right, check it out. You can look us up at klbc.org. You can also check out our sister station over there on the FM side of the dial at kctyfm.org. Or the way technology is nowadays, it's amazing. You can get right on your computing machine and just type in www.ustream.tv/KLBCLB, and you can look and watch us in the studio. I do have a little bit of a face for radio, so you'll have to excuse me on that one. Now, we want to get into our interviews right away. Mr. Dusty Stiggers, how are you doing from the state of Dallas, Texas?
I'm doing lovely, man.
All right. Well, I noticed you don't have your giant belt buckle. Where is that one?
My mom has it. I couldn't bring it today, man.
Oh, you need to tell your mama to make sure to bring that down to the studio so we can look at that before the end of the show. Because I ain't from Dallas, but I D-Town Boogie. Now, Miss Fariel Khan, the Pakistani princess.
Yes.
I did not see your crown on your head, Miss Princess. Where is that?
I left it at home, but I promise you I'll bring it next time.
All right, I'm holding you to that promise there. Now, Mr. Jeremiah Rossborough from the state of Arizona.
Yeah.
Looking super cool with your shades on, man. I got to give you that one. Hats off for the day. Now, how do those Sun Devils look this year?
They look real Sun Devilish.
Ooh, Sun Devilish. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty outrageous, I tell you what. Now, look, we got to take a break right now, but we'll be right back here with more at klbc.org. Yeehaw.
Thanks, Colin. Let's head over into the studio where reporter Fariel Khan had a chance to review the film 50/50.
Welcome to this week's edition of At the Movies. Today we'll be looking at 50/50, inspired by the true story of Will Reiser. 50/50 takes us on a journey with 27-year-old Adam, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who is diagnosed with a rare form of spinal cancer early on in the film. Levitt's character is faced with many problems throughout, leaving him and his best friend Kyle, played by Seth Rogen, to cope with disaster. Rounding out this all-star cast is Anna Kendrick, who plays Catherine, Adam's therapist, and Bryce Dallas Howard, who plays the only other antagonist in the movie. Depicting cancer can be like walking on eggshells, but director Jonathan Levine and writer Will Reiser do a fantastic job of making the topic of cancer seem tastefully funny. While you may have Adam's cancer treatment and recovery in mind, you can't help but to laugh at the situations that Adam and Kyle get into. The story makes audiences not only feel in tune with Adam's emotional ups and downs, but also shows us what it's like for those around him. Joseph Gordon-Levitt delivers another stunning performance, while Seth Rogen charms as always, which makes their on-screen chemistry effortless and organic. For the manly men out there, don't be fooled. This is not a chick flick. This movie deals with struggle and, more importantly, friendship. The relationship between Adam and Catherine is faint, which left room for what was more important, Adam's journey. Overall, this beautiful blend of happiness and sadness had me laughing and crying throughout, which is why I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I'm Fariel Khan at the Movies.
Thanks so much, Fariel. I'm definitely going to check that out. Our very own reporter, Chris Johnson, has an album review that's definitely worth the listen.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Music Corner. Today we're going to take a look at the album Metals from Feist. Metals is the third studio album from singer-songwriter Leslie Feist, and And let me just say, it's been a while since I enjoyed an album all the way through on the first listen, but this album definitely had me not only happy, but completely in awe. Most people would know Feist from her previous album, The Reminder, which was nominated for 4 Grammys, including Best Pop Vocal Album. Well, if you haven't heard of her yet, you will, as I am certain this collection of music is ripe for a cornucopia of awards. The organic sound of Metals has taken Leslie Feist to a whole new level of songwriting, and it seems she is in the best form of her life. Soulful melodies and haunting chants are perfectly accompanied by heavy stomps and raw echoing drum beats that set a tone for the album from the get-go. The opening track, The Bad in Each Other, starts with an empty but seemingly heavy drum beat that is soon picked up by a haunting bluegrass-sounding guitar, expertly plucked by Feist herself. Then Feist starts singing, and that's when you really fall in love. Her voice isn't like any other female voice, and the fact that it never, ever gets old. Her pitch is always spot on, and her presence is unwavering. Songs like Graveyard and The Circle Married the Line slow the album down a bit, but never in a bad way. A heavy blues influence can be heard throughout the album, but is always done in an empty yet fresh way. The emptiness is filled slowly, like a flooding room, with instruments and vocal harmonies pouring their way into the song smoothly and without hindrance. You begin to notice a pattern with Feist's writing, especially in songs like Undiscovered First and Pine Moon, where the music starts quietly and swells into a huge climax that will leave you chanting the melody as though it were your mantra. And though you sometimes know where the songs are heading, you're never disappointed when they do. Feist has proceeded to blow my mind once again with a beautiful and awe-inspiring third album that some may consider a revelation. I highly recommend this fantastic collection of music to anyone who can appreciate the delicate art of songwriting. So Feist, thank you very, very much for this beautiful album. For iNews, I'm Chris Johnson.
That album definitely sounds beautiful. Ferio Khan had a chance to sit down with the president of the Future Firefighters in this week's club interview.
Hi, and welcome to this week's club interview. I am here with Travis Chorba, who is the president of the Association of Future Firefighters. Now, Travis, what is the purpose of the club?
The purpose of the club is to actually familiarize fire science students with outside resources that they might not get within the classroom setting. So it's more of a social networking club within the fire science students. So students that possibly have outside resources that they could bring in, possible testing dates, job opportunities, they just bring that into the club and help out other fire science students that might not know of these opportunities.
And you mentioned fire science. What do you guys learn when you guys are majoring in fire science?
Fire science is the degree where, again, just fire-based knowledge, fire behavior, fire combustibility, the chemical reactions with fire, construction of buildings actually, because as you know, firefighters go within buildings and rescue people, but if the building's on fire and different construction types of buildings, it's more of a safety hazard. So with the knowledge of building construction, the behavior of fire, and the reactions of different chemicals and whatnot, you can better prepare yourself for safety reasons during rescues.
And can any student join, or is it mostly for like fire science majors?
No, any student can join the AFFF club. The AFFF club is open to anybody. It's more geared toward fire science students who have the knowledge and more of an interest in firefighting. But any student can join. We are open, to familiarize other people too with the fire safety, fire prevention, and fire-related activities.
And what happens during a typical meeting with the AFFF?
Well, a typical meeting, myself, I stand up at the front, possibly bring in videos, information of job opportunities. I do some research behind the scenes to bring it in to my guys. So a typical meeting just runs, we do roll, take on everyone who participated that day, share our interviews, share our events that possibly are going on, share our outside resources. After that, we just, again, show some video clips of possible fire rescues, things that we're going to be seeing within the field. And then we end just with everyone says bye to each other, trying to make it into a brotherhood thing. So we try and keep it as family-type oriented club. So we just keep it within like a group of guys. But we do have girls also in the club.
Yeah.
So it's not just male gender based. We actually have a couple girls, and we treat them just like the guys, they mean just as much as everyone else.
Right, and then is it more classroom-based when you guys meet, or is it more like hands-on? Have you guys ever done hands-on kind of things?
It is more classroom-based because none of us are certified yet to do any fire activities.
Right.
We do visit fire stations who we are supervised by certified firefighters, and we do kind of like ropes and knots, hose lays, just simple tasks, nothing that actually deals with fire or, any dangerous activities, but just simple things, just to get your feet wet and familiarize yourself with something that you're possibly going to be doing within the fire career.
And do you guys have any events coming up?
We do have a couple of events. We're doing a fundraiser, trying to give back to the fire community. We have a fundraiser at Sioux Plantation. No dates set yet, but we're looking at the end of November. Possibly per plate, we get a percentage of the money back, and we're going to give that money back to the Long Beach Fire Department, who are ongoing through budget cuts right now, which is having a negative impact on the fire service.
And then for a student who wants to join but is not sure, do you have any advice?
Student that's not sure, come out and try it, come talk to us. It's always okay to ask for information and stuff. Being more knowledgeable about something, it never hurts. So they're more than welcome to come out to the meetings and talk to us. If
the meeting time, when do you guys meet?
Oh, the meeting time is Thursdays at the T building, room T 2314 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, well, I want to thank you for joining us, Travis, for this week's Spotlight interview. I'm Fariel Khan for IU News.
Thanks, Fariel. The most recent LBCC dance performance was this past week, and Chris Johnson was there to cover all the action.
We're here at the Fall 2011 Long Beach City College Dance Showcase, where we're going to be viewing a wide variety of dance performances. Let's head on inside and take a look. The performance went off without a hitch, and there was a fantastic turnout. The dances varied from ballet to hip-hop and tap, with students from all levels of dance experience. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't impressed, and I really have to hand it to the students and instructors that helped make this event happen. We first spoke with Cherie King to ask her about what it takes to put together such a fantastic performance.
Well, it's a lot of work. We've been working on the showcase material since probably the beginning of the semester. Each class is working on material that's leading up to this experience for the students. My job as coordinator is just to pull it all together here in the final week.
We then sat down with Jeff Hendricks to ask him about his favorite part of teaching.
My favorite part is seeing student success. When I can take a student, whether it be a beginning, intermediate, or advanced student, and help them improve their skills, add to their vocabulary or to their skill base, and to see them accomplish that, that's a victory for me. That's the most satisfying thing about being a teacher.
We then talked with some of the night's performers who spoke about why they love the dance program here at Long Beach City College.
The program is excellent. I know a lot of people that actually have come here just for the dance program. We have great teachers such as Stephanie Powell, Cherie King, Arlene Brackett. We have a lot of great teachers here, and the program actually really trains dancers for the professional level as well.
We all love dance so much, and the fact that we get to share it together and share this experience, and like you said, just lean on each other, and it's wonderful.
This definitely has a deep family atmosphere. A lot of us, we met here, and we still hang out outside of school and outside of dancing. We share everything. We're just always together. Some of us even have lived together, have shared bathrooms, houses, everything. Like, it's been dance family to real family. We've grown all together.
Well, when it's all said and done, tonight's performance was a success. But more importantly, it seems that everybody had fun and there was a fantastic turnout. If you want to see more dancing like this, you can come and check it out from November 18th through the 20th here in the auditorium. For IE News, I'm Chris Johnson.
Thanks, Chris. I'll be sure to attend the dance ensemble in November.
We hope that you enjoyed this week's edition of IE News. There's plenty of opportunity here at Long Beach City College. The radio and television department invites you to join our team.
If you are interested in becoming a member of our news team to produce great television, please call 562-938-4892.
Well, that about wraps up this week's show. Thanks for watching.